Okay, so the King of Kings. Okay, so the King of Kings. It's been out for a bit. And this movie was a movie I was really looking forward to, as this animation of basically like the highlights of Jesus's life. So I was really excited for because I mean, to be honest with you, there hasn't been a Christian movie, like an animated Christian movie in theaters in like a while. So like I think I don't know. Okay, and released in theaters. I mean, an animated Christian movie that was released in theaters about Jesus, or about I don't know if you. Okay, so The King of Kings is the newest Jesus movie that was released last week, and I watched it and I thought it was really good. So I want to talk about it. So that was really okay. So The King of Kings is a Christian new. The King of Kings is a Christian movie based on the life of Jesus. It's an animated movie on his life, and it's basically like the highlights of his life. So, and I was really looking forward to this movie when I saw the first trailer, when it was announced and all that. The cast I think was really surprising. There's like a lot of big names there, but like besides that, I was just excited to see another like Jesus movie, an animated movie of that about Jesus's life. Because to be honest with you, I don't remember the last time there was like a movie about Jesus's life. Like I really don't remember what was the last one, and it's been a while since like the last like animated Christian movie that was released in theaters like this. But yeah, overall, let's talk about the movie now. Like this, and overall. And so leading up to this movie, I was actually very excited because yeah, I mean, I'm a Christian and I really wanted to watch it, and yeah, and then, but one thing I noticed was the fact that a lot of people were not talking about this movie. Well, I just think this movie, I really do like the movie, but before I talk about the movie, I want to talk about how terrible the marketing was. This movie, barely anybody was talking about it, fam. Like I watch a lot of movie channels and reviews and all that, and like barely anybody talked about it. Not a single person. I think there was like one or two people, maybe. That is it, bro. Like nobody was talking about it. Not only that, I also watch a lot of Christian YouTubers, and like barely any of them mentioned it. The only like promotional things I would see would be like the trailers on YouTube and on TikTok. And on TikTok, it will like just pop out sometimes here and there, and like that's it. Besides that, this movie had like very like little to no marketing, and I think that kind of sucks. I do think they had better marketing. I do think it could have made a lot more money. Not saying that like it's not making a lot of money. I'm just saying I think a lot of more people should. I just think that more people should have talked about this movie and should have probably watched this movie, because I mean it's not making like a little money, but it's not making like a whole ton. So like I believe now everybody's gonna watch it. But yeah, let's go on to the movie now. The animation I do think was also really good. It was really beautiful, especially I think the scenes in the water were probably like the best animated. Like those look really really good. But one thing I want to talk about is like they do like I thought was really something I want to talk about. I thought was really cool was in the movie like sometimes when they will talk about the Old Testament they will like show like this book and it has like pictures and like drawings or whatever, and it looked really awesome. Like it looked really good there. Like that was some really good stuff. It was really creative too. Like instead of doing the Old Testament and explaining the Old Testament in the animation of the movie, it just did like this like quick little book thing of drawings and stuff of recapping everything in the Old Testament to know what's going on in the New Testament. And I thought that was really good. Like that was really nice how they did that. The animation again really nice. But I mean, at times it doesn't seem the best. It does seem a little bit off here and there. It gets a bit to you. It gets it gets time. It takes a bit of time to get used to it. There we go. I lost my words. But yeah, it gets a yeah. Another thing was this movie actually kind of generally made me a little bit emotional. Like I wasn't like crying, but like I low key felt it just a little bit. Not gonna lie. Especially this is scene in the scene where Peter betrays Jesus. Not betrays, but when he denies him like three times. And then you see like this scene of him just going like somewhere around here, just kneeling and like crying and like regretting what he's done and feeling all this guilt inside of him. And that scene was like I felt that like that was really good. It just you felt that because he just had denied Christ three times, even though Christ told him he was going to do so, and he still did it. Like crying down and his knees and all that. And I just think that was just a beautiful scene right there. The voice acting there by the guy who voiced Peter was really good. Like it was really good there. That scene was just man. And of course the scene that hold on, I'm trying to recall the scene where Jesus betrays. There was one thing that also kind of touched me a little bit. Was the scene where when Peter cut off the ear of the soldier guy, and then Jesus, he like grabs it back and he heals him, and then the soldier guy is just like left in awe. That scene was kind of like that hit me a little bit too. Not because like I know it's in the book, in the New Testament it does have that, but in the New Testament the words are that he healed him. I don't know why, but I didn't interpret that as like he grabbed his ear and put it back and like healed it. I just interpret that as like he took the pain away. Like his ear was still gone, but what Jesus did was like he put his hand or something on his ear or his half ear or whatever, and like he just took the pain away, or he stopped the bleeding and he just took the pain away. I didn't think that he would like. I didn't think he grabbed the ear and then put it back in there. Which either way, we don't know which one it was, because the New Testament doesn't say that he grabbed his ear, but he did say he healed him, so it could have been that too. But it's just the scene. It's just like it just really brought to me of just like who Jesus is, or how forgiving he is. Because like you have this soldier, you have all these soldiers coming up to you. Your disciple cuts off the ear of one of them, and you healed the soldier. Like this guy, the guy that you healed, probably came here to arrest you. Probably wants to kill you and probably wants to crucify you, or doesn't care about you at all, and it's just he just wants to arrest you or whatever, and you heal him. That to me was just, it really makes you ponder just how good Jesus is, because like any one of us wouldn't have done that. Like none of us, if we were put in that situation, none of us would have done that. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't heal this guy. This guy's trying to arrest me. He tries to arrest me. He probably hates me, or he probably wants me to get crucified and all these things. And yet he healed him. He grabbed the ear. He put it in his. He healed him in the ear, and he put it back and all that. And he did that. And I just think that's just so beautiful. I think that was a beautiful scene too. And his reaction is just incomplete. Because how would you react to that? The guy that you came to arrest, he was your ear that was cut off. The guy that you probably also hate. You probably hate him too, or whatever. Or like even if you don't hate him, you probably feel nothing towards him. You don't know him, and yet he heals your ear. Out of his compassion, out of his forgiveness, and out of his love. Yeah, no, that was a really good scene. Another thing I wish the movie had is the resurrection. It does have, Jesus rising from the dead, but it doesn't have everything that happened after that. Whether it was the woman fighting him in the tomb, whether it was, that's the disciples learning about him, and him sending back to heaven, and all that. The movie doesn't have any of that, which I think was fine, because when the movie ends, when Jesus' story ends, it ends with the little kid who was hearing his story going to his a sibling's room and saying he's alive, and how that's really the most important news there is. Like that's the good news, right? Like he's alive. Him being alive matters. It matters.
Be with all.
It's the most important thing of all time. Him being alive. And I think they ended there as perfectly, because they don't show that what he told in the story was Jesus being alive is the most important thing. Throughout the end of the movie, he's alive. He's alive.
I am coming soon.
That's just beautiful, man. That's the most important thing.
May the grace of the...
Because he's alive. And since he's alive, that means that your problems, your anxieties, your insecurities, your sins, took them all. He took them all. He took your insecurity, he took your sin, he took all your sin, all your problems, he took them all. And I think that's the most important too, right? Because he took all of our sin, all of my lustfulness, selfishness, greed, and all that. He took all of that, and we are no longer slaves to sin. Not only that, him being alive also promises, what he promised, to bring us back to life and to be with him in paradise. That's literally, what could literally be more important than that? There's nothing more important than that. What Jesus did. There's literally nothing more important than Jesus' love, his death, and his resurrection. You take away the resurrection, Christianity is a dead religion. Christianity is the full man's religion. Since the resurrection did happen, it was eyewitnessed by people who were martyred or were killed and stoned for it. I think it just shows to prove that this man really rose from the dead, and that he really was who he claimed to be. So overall, I think the movie ended really nicely, and I'm really I was gonna say I'm really excited for the sequel, but I'm probably not gonna get a sequel. Just say, because I don't know. Maybe we could get everything that happened after resurrection, and even what happened to the apostles and the disciples and everything, the church forming, everybody, the origins of Christianity, basically. That would be really cool, but I doubt that. But overall, this movie was really nice. This movie was really good. It was very nice. It was very interesting. It's just also the first Christian movie I've seen in years, and theaters too. It's the first one I've seen in theaters, which was really nice. So this movie, great movie. Go out and watch it. It's a very different, a little bit different take on Jesus' story, because it is told through the perspective of a father telling his son the story of Jesus. So it does add a little bit of difference, as sometimes we do go back to him and his son, which I thought was kind of nice. Both of them were really nice in the story. But overall, the movie's really good. Go out there and watch it. So that's all for me. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.